Okay, so I'm sat here watching some Canadian racing, right? And I've just had this epiphany about eighth mile versus quarter mile. And I know that this is an RC page, but I watch drag racing too, so just deal with it. Quarter mile is pointless. I don't know why we need to keep doing it. I think the only reason that we keep doing it is because there are old school fans who will stop showing up to the races if we go to eighth mile. The only classes that I think should stay past the eighth are funny car and top fuel and pro stock. Other than that, we don't need to. Why should guys be putting their stuff through more stress? Why should they be putting their tires through more load? Why should they be putting the bodies on their cars through more load? And I see on every single live stream, video, anything with eighth mile racing tied to it, I see it in every single comment section. Oh, eighth mile's boring, eighth mile's dumb, eighth mile's pointless. NHRA needs to go back to a quarter mile, go away from the 1,000 feet. No, we don't need it anymore. What the fuck do you want? You want them to go 350 miles an hour, and you want them to go 420s. No, we don't need it anymore. That's why the alcohol classes exist. They can safely do that because it's the same damn thing with less horsepower. You mean to tell me that, who was it? Not Rachel. One of the Meyer girls. You mean to tell me that one of the Meyer girls going 509 at, shit, I don't know, she probably went like 280 or something on that run in the quarter with a 330-inch naturally aspirated engine in the same fucking chassis as a top fuel car? You mean to tell me that you can't find entertainment in that? Go home. Stop following the sport. You don't need to watch it anymore. You mean to tell me that you can't go to Bradenton, Florida in the dead of winter and watch fucking 80 cars run within 0.2 of each other? Do you know how hard that is to do? And then you're going to have a 32 car field where the number one spot is, you're going to have a 32 car field where the number one spot is like a 357 set by Mark Mickey, who is unattainable at those races anyway. And then you're going to have somebody at the bump spot have run a 364. When you have like 12, 13 cars not qualify because they didn't run a high enough speed, you know you have tight racing. I don't understand why people have such an emphasis on running out the back. All you're going to do is destroy shit. And newsflash, race cars are fucking expensive. To run a pro mod operation nowadays, you're talking about a $300,000 car, probably $150,000 for the motorhome and trailer, or toter and trailer. $150,000 for the toter and trailer. Not to mention, you're gonna need like 8 to 15 guys to work on your shit, because you need a crew chief for one, because there are very few self-tuned pro mods out there, and owner-tuned pro mods out there and driven. You need like 10 crew guys, and you need a shop to run the car out of, because you can't fucking do it out of your garage. It's simple. You can't do that anymore because the cars cost too much and they require so much maintenance. You just can't do that anymore. I don't understand why you think that running a pro mod quarter mile at the absolute breaking point of everything on the car is better than watching an alcohol car do it. Because they can do it safely. They have the chassis. They have more power that they can put in those fucking things. I mean, for fuck's sake, I talked to one of Sean Bellamer's guys at Norwalk, and they said that they parked the injected funny car because they took 5% of nitromethane away from it. Do you know how much horsepower that is? They killed the combination because there's only 2 guys running it, them and McSteel. But they went fucking 30s in Gainesville. You can't find entertainment in that? You need a pro mod to do that? When every single time they do it, they're on the verge of the car falling apart? To run this stuff out the back, it is unsafe most of the time. It's dangerous. There's just no fucking point to it. When you can have the same fucking thing in the 8th mile and go quicker to the 8th. Because let me tell you something. When I think it was Jose Gonzalez went 564 a couple years ago with before they restricted the Pro Chargers, I think he only went like a 69 to the 8th. When you have people who will go out there at Bradenton in the same state and run fucking 50s, you know what that's going to do to the quarter? Probably a 520 at over 270. But you're going to get the same result. You want to know why? Because all it is horsepower. That is why we don't run Pro Boost style cars out the back. And that's why no turbo cars exist in Pro Boost anymore. There's Jimmy Taylor, Mark Mickey, Jay Cox, who's the other one? I can't remember the other one, but there's one more. Victor Alvarez. There's not that many cars, and they don't run, and Sean Ellington, they don't run that often because the combo just can't get there anymore. They need the last 600 feet of the racetrack to catch up. That's why they don't exist in Pro Boost. They used to not to. They're coming back now just because of the technology, but that's the only reason. So and especially because of the bracket stuff too, it's just harder to do, right? Because if you think about it, you take a 440 car and you send it out the back, that's probably, 690s, 680s? Imagine how far that would be. I feel for the Comp Eliminator guys. I really and truly don't understand why bracket guys run out the back. Like the index stuff, yeah, I get it because you're right there with them. But the bracket stuff, especially when you're racing a slower car, it's fucking pointless. You don't need to do it. I seriously am glad that pretty much every outlaw Pro Mod sanctioning body has shortened the racing distance to 8th mile because there's more cars, there's more teams, and it's just better racing in my opinion. Because think about this. Why do you think nobody else besides half of the NHRA guys showed up to Quarter Mile Mania at Flying H? Because nobody fucking does it besides them. You had Alanabi, Artavinko, Billy Banica, Jason Scruggs, which was a miracle to see him, and Tidwell. Those are the only people that do it. On the off chance that the Australians, the Rika guys, what's his name? Jimmy Taylor's going to run the XRE car out the back. That's cool. But guess what? It's a 69 Camaro. It's going to fucking destroy the car. They're not going to be able to run it as hard as they would have to the eighth. That car can easily do, I don't know, 345 at 230. Easily. You want to know why? Because Bubba Stanton does that with 10 less mile an hour. But that's a 135 over car. You want to know why Bubba doesn't run out the quarter? Because it's too fucking fast. And that is an old car. He can't do it. Can't do it. My fucking voice is cracking because I'm talking so much. At the end of the day, it's another thing too. The NHRA combos, as they are, besides Ricky Smith, he's maxed out because nitrous is old. Pretty much every blower car there can run probably 540s at like 260 something. But the closest one to do that in the last 5 years was Lyle with the Elite Turbo car. And I saw that car run once in person. And the quickest I saw it run was 572.7 at 257. And that's a turbo car that should have been living in the 270 range. But they restrict them to, I think he said 36 pounds of boost, when that car could make probably upwards of 80, 90. So at the end of the day, I don't get why we need quarter mile anymore. Keep it to the index guys, because I'm sure they like running out there. Keep it to people who are chasing records, like the XRE guys, like Mark Mickey, like Rika, like the import guys. Leave it to these one-off events that are already doing it. TX2K, World Cup, Quarter Mile Mania, which we need more cars to go to that. But these big dollar pro mod races, they don't need to run quarter mile. Stop telling them to, okay? Because we can either have 40 to 50 cars on the property, or we can have 20 that you see do it every weekend, or every other weekend, whatever. So what have we learned here? Quarter mile is stupid and pointless, and I don't know why we do it. Thanks for listening to me rant. See ya. And also, you want the MPK guys to keep running Pro Mod, because those cars are either going to get converted to small tire or radials. And they're already going to keep running 8th mile. You want the MPK guys to keep showing up? You want Kai Kelly to be able to run 350s? You want Murder Nova and Ryan Martin to run 365s side by side, which was absolutely incredible, by the way? Keep it 8th mile. Because Jim Howe, John Odom, Chris Rankin, Chuck Sightsinger, Jeff Lutz, who almost fucking died doing it, by the way, Birdman, who wrecked his shit because he did it, you know, just another food on the plate. And another thing that I forgot to talk about, you want to know why everybody calls Pro Stock Pro Camaro? Because they want that class to be tight. When the Quadra Boys and Alan Przinski come out, and I think, what's his name? Brandon Miller, I think, is his name, come out, I'm excited because when people leave comments on it and say, oh, Pro Camaro this, Pro Camaro that, I can show them pictures of those cars. Because you know what they don't drive? A fucking Camaro. When people call Pro Mod Pro Camaro, the sad fucking part is they do that on the quarter mile videos. You want to know why? Because everybody runs a 69. Everybody runs a fucking new gen. And there's really nothing they can do about it. It's just proven that the weight break that the 69 gives and the aerodynamic capabilities of the new gen cars are just more worth it. You can't give somebody like, I don't know, Craig Sullivan who runs a beautiful car, by the way, you can't just give him more overdrive and fucking 200 pounds off because he can't get there. The car's so fucking heavy, you can't get there. It's like you want people like Craig, like Dean Carnes, like Kai, who's another one? People like Janice with an old school Mustang, not Rivenbark, because that's basically a 69. But you want people like that at your races because it gives diversity. It gives a coolness factor. And you just can't do that when you're pushing these cars to go 250 mile an hour. You know? I think Cletus did a wind tunnel video with Leroy like 8 years ago. And they said something like it takes 400 horsepower out of that car's engine to maintain 200 mile an hour. What you think 250 takes? You know? When you have something that will pierce the air as good as not a 69, a new gen, out the back. Because it's just gonna fall apart. Out the back. Out the back. Because it's just gonna fall apart. And you're hitting air and slowing the car down at the same time. So, yeah. Like, where else are you gonna see a 69 Nova with a Pro Charger on it versus an old school Corvette? I think that's like I don't remember the headlight cluster, but it's a fucking turbo car. Look at that. Let's watch this real quick. Sean gapped his ass. 370, 208. They got that thing fucking rolling. Nice job, boys.